The Lord is the light of my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid of? Indeed, of Zion it will be said, this one and that one were born in her. And the Most High himself will establish her. The Lord will write in the register of the peoples, this one was born in Zion. As they make music, they will sing, all my fountains are in you. And let it be so for us who are here in African Nazarene University. I want to welcome us to a word of prayer. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and thank you for this time that we have come together to worship you, to be in your presence as a community. We do want now to commit the whole of this service to you, the music, the singing, and even the special item you have prepared for us today. We commit everything to you. May all glory and honor be yours now and forever. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I want to welcome us to stand as we join these guys in worship, in song.
This morning I'm here from Nairobi campus, and I bring greetings from Nairobi campus. Have you received greetings from your sisters and brothers? Thank you very much. And I'm here also to introduce to you a guest, a friend to African Nazarene University. He has come all the way from Nigeria, Lagos. And also, as we have been singing, thanking God, I want us to thank God for him and for what he is doing to us. He has offered to sponsor one of our students, an MBA student, and he is here to present the scholarship, which he's going to do tomorrow. Yesterday we had him, and we were blessed with what he gave us. And I'm sure you are going to be blessed today with what he's going to present to you. But who is this man? I'm just going to give a brief bio of who the man is. His name is Olajide Alex Oni. He was born on July 8th, 1974, in Lagos State, Nigeria. Alex Oni is a chartered wealth manager from the International Academy of Business and Financial Management, formerly American Academy of Finance Management. He has over 13 years of financial services experience spanning across merchant banking, universal banking, commercial banking, and private banking. He has spent the last 7 years as a professional investment banker in Main Street Bank Capital Limited, in one of the rated investment banking firms in Nigeria. There he built his strong leadership and strategic planning capabilities while specializing in wealth creation and asset management. He is an alumnus of Kellogg School of Management, Northwestern University, Chicago. He is also a graduate of the University of Ibadan, Nigeria, where he obtained a Bachelor of Science honors degree in sociology. Alex Oni is recognized for his creativity in being able to contribute to marketing, creative, and innovative thinking. He has applied his depth of knowledge and skills in various financial advisory and funds raising functions from a handful of corporations, small startup companies, to high net worth individuals in both the private and public sector of the Nigerian economy. He is a strong advocate of visionary leadership, compliance, and positive change. He is also a principal partner at 2H Partners Global Limited, a business advisory intermediation and social services firm. His most recent appointment is with the other Banefo Digital Research Center, an e-resource and ICT non-profit organization, as the Chief Executive Officer. Alex Oni is widely traveled He likes to cook. He enjoys reading, has his thrills on his power bike. He loves to watch football, charitable in nature, and craves to meet smart and intelligent people. He is married to Adobe, Alex Oni, and has 2 sons by the name Kamsi and Toby. Welcome, Alex Oni. Thank you.
Thank you. Jambo. Yes, you've heard everything that needs to be said here, but at the same time, I think by the time I'm supposed to say what I have to say here, you guys will probably see a different perspective of what one has to offer. And I hope by the end of the day, you will take away something from here. Because the profile that was just read now started from somewhere, just like where all of you are now. Now, to start with, I think I would like to show a short keynote. Now, this keynote in question is not public, but as the chief executive of the company that I was mentioned as, I have the privilege to actually show you this because this is a work we're putting together. Today we're talking about leadership and mentorship, as you can see there, where we're trying to address the successes or failures of organizations in the 21st century. And this topic was actually deliberated upon over a long period to arrive at where we are, because we're not too sure of where to start from. But like I said, let this video play so that it's just a 3 minutes, 34 seconds, I believe. Just listen attentively and we'll center it around us.
My names are Arthur Christopher Izwegbunam Mbanefo. In my retirement, I have tried as much as possible to see what I can leave behind. In my life, I had done a lot of non-professional things, in the sense that I collected art right from 1962. I've been collecting art work, African art. I have also another hobby, which is books, and I read a lot, and therefore I collect quite a lot of books. At some point in time, my total library had over 5,000 titles. With my over 5,000 titles, people have also turned around to me, my very close friends that is, and said, why don't you start, why don't you just go ahead and start a library? And I said, well, look, with the facilities that we do have, with internet and other digital facilities, that perhaps what I really should do is to see if I could use those resources that I may have to set up a research center where the gap in education, whether it's medical or engineering or even arts, can be found from other institutions that do have, for the benefit of our people. The motivations that led me into the founding of the Atom Banefo Digital Research Center, which is currently located at the main campus of the University of Lagos in Nigeria. And my only hope is that, taking into account my age and what work is left to be done, that God will spare my life to support, to be able to support the young people who will run the center, to really establish the center with all the standards that we expect.
Thank you. Now, did that catch your attention? Did it catch your attention? Okay. Now, if we're all in agreement, I want to believe that a lot of us will want to do what we just saw or heard now. That is a great leader, by any standard. Now, back to our slide and the purpose of why we're here. I would like to ask you guys to send forth here 4 potential leaders of the 21st century. Luckily, there are 4 groups here, so I'll take 1 person from there, 1 from here, and the other 2. Now, well, when I came in this morning, I made a friend here, someone by the name Mata. Where is she? So maybe she will represent her group wherever she's seated. Mata, where are you? I promised to embarrass you this morning, so where are you? She's hiding. Unbelievable. Mata, where are you? I won't give up because I promised to do this. Okay, please come. So you represent, that's a leader there. Let me call someone on this side here. Do you want to come? Okay. So you join us. I need another leader here. A potential leader. You have hope for tomorrow. Okay, good. 1 more person there. Do you want to come? Fine. Okay. So these are my own leaders that will be with me throughout this short discussion. And I hope they will be able to exhibit what we hope that they should be able to do. Now, if I was to ask them, given what they represent, what do you understand as a leader? Given what you just saw now, let's use that as a cue.
To produce result that people can feel.
Okay. Your definition of a leader.
Taking initiative to bring change.
Great.
Influencing people towards a direction.
A leader who has a mark in servant leadership and is of significance.
Okay. Do I take it that they have spoken everybody's mind here from their respective groups? True or false? Who said false? Okay. Now, we'll get to that. Those things they've said, the summary of it will approach that soon. Now, next slide. Let me show you something. Do you guys know these people? Yes or no? My question to you guys are they leaders or mentors? Leaders? Mentors? Come on. They must represent something. Are they leaders or mentors? Given what they said, we're summarizing it now. Are they leaders or mentors? Mentors? Okay, we'll determine. Next. Aha. Big 5. Are they leaders or mentors? Leaders? Mentors? They're leaders. Very good. Next. Aha, nice one. Leader? Ah. Don't worry. We'll get to him soon. Leader? Mentor? No. Come on. Leader or mentor? Leaders, raise up your hand. Leaders, raise up your hand. Mentor? Both? All right. Next. Now, Madiba. Leader or mentor? You know what? It's a pity where the story we find ourselves listening to about his condition. We can only pray for him, but in life, I mean, at 94, there's a certain age that we know the body can't take us beyond. Let's just pray for him, that's all. Okay? Next slide, please. How far? Mentor or leader? Leader or mentor? He's a leader. He's a mentor? Come on. I'm sure we'll get there. Next slide. Leader or mentor? I got you. Leader or mentor? Both? I'm going to tell her. Leader or mentor? Okay. Now, all these individuals that we've looked at now, we've all agreed that, I mean, there might be some confusion in terms of our acceptability that they are leaders or mentor. And that will also depend on your own definition of what you see or who you see to be as a leader. Now, my dear lieutenants here have actually taken our time to summarize some of these people. And I will tell you that this leader and this mentor, because if I agree, she's both, is who has actually made this possible for me to be here today to speak with you. Like I said, this journey started last year. I visited here last year. I don't know if all of you were here during the last convocation, but I sat down somewhere quietly behind. Now, the reason why I was here was because of that video that I showed to you, the man in that video. He got so kind that African Nazarene University honored him with an honorary degree. And we were proud of what you did as an institution because of his recognition, not just within Nigeria or Africa, but globally. And that is encouragement that I'm trying to pass out to all of you here to know that you can actually make a difference. Now, next slide, please. Don't worry, I'm not a leader or a mentor too, but I'm standing beside one that you all agreed is a mentor and leader. Now, this story that I put together is just trying to show you everything that they've said. I mean, the characters of what it takes to be a leader, particularly in this 21st century. Okay? Now, there are many things. I'm not going to dwell into it because I'm sure everything I probably will have to say, you all know it, but you just don't take that cue to, remind yourself of what it takes to be responsible. Let me first of all say that I would like to ask if you guys are familiar with your ABC. Are you? A, B, C, D. I didn't say you should sing. Now, when I say ABC, what I simply mean, when I say A, you say always. B, C, confident. So that's your ABC. The definition that my friends here have given is centered around just that. Being able to assess yourself, value yourself, reorientate your mind to know that all it takes is always be confident. That's all. A, B, C. It's simple. So when I say A, B, C. That's all. That's all it takes. Now, let me just take you or cast your mind back to 20th century, because I believe we were a very lucky generation that is in here. We experienced pre-Y2K, crossed over to Y2K, which we also call the millennium where we are. A lot of things have changed. Next slide. Where you will probably notice that there's been a revolution from what was conventional back then to where we are today. That is, for example, a lot of you, I'm sure you don't even cook. You buy food outside. True or false? Hey. Well, you've moved from the era of desktops to laptops to devices to our small gadgets. This is the 21st century. And the reality of where you find yourself will determine that bold step that you have to take to get you where you should be. I speak here and I stand here today authoritatively because I have been bold enough to always be, that's all. You need to remind yourself of that all the time. Now you may ask yourself, how do you manage these changes? How do you manage it? Things are moving too fast. The pace at which things are changing is unbelievable. And it affects every facet of our lives. The way we do things, the way we dress, everything. The world is a global village. I'm sure somebody here in this hall is probably chatting with somebody in another part of the world now. Whether by Twitter, Facebook, or whatever it is. It's happening now. It's a global village. Next slide. This slide here, I found it very interesting because I must say this, that all that you see up there, my first son, who will be 9, put them together for this purpose, because I shared with him what I was coming to do. And he put them together. Now, one of those, the picture, they might not be too clear, but if you notice, the people up there are supposed to be young. And they're supposed to be like in a train or tube. What are they doing? They're buried with their heads, doing what the 21st century expects of them, to follow the trends. Now, the other picture below shows some elderly people also who feel that they want to be funky, right? They want to use the gadgets. They are using the gadgets, true or false? Now, but the most important thing, like I've said, for you to be able to stay relevant in this century is being MAD. I dare not use the word, which means mad. I just told you about A, B, C. If you remember these things, always be, come on, you guys are not showing some confidence here. Always be great, while at the same time trying to make a difference. Like my friends would say, always be confident, while at the same time trying to get mad. In a nice way. No derogatory statement about it, but always get mad in a positive way. This is the 21st century. What you do, how you do it, will stand you out from your peers. I'll tell you a very short story. While I was in school, your age, my first year, I realized that going back home, taking money from home, didn't make sense to me. I'd always wanted to be an entrepreneur, to make a difference. Now, while I was in school, the first thing I did was to set up an eatery, a local eatery, built with bamboo sticks, with the roofing sheet. Do you know what I was doing in there? I was selling chicken and chips. It's funny, but it's true. I was selling chicken and chips to my fellow students and colleagues. I did something different from the conventional. Others looked up to me. They were excited, your peers, but they kept wondering, how do you manage academics and business? But you see, the essence behind this is that today, it taught me a lot of things at an early age, how to manage people, what it takes to be responsible, to be disciplined, to manage your time. Let me say something here. How many of you know the 168 rule? 168 rule. How many of you know it? What that simply means, oh, you do? Great. Then you're a blessed man. What that simply means is this. In a week, you have 168 hours. Let's do the math quickly. In a day, you have how many hours? 24. Times 7 gives us what? 168. Now, I can assure you that if you plan yourself well, every day of the week, you should be able to stand out from your peers. Do you understand? That is, every week, you're supposed to be in class, for example. You spend maybe 9 hours every day or 6 hours in class. I love the fact that you guys have quality time during the week, like what I've just seen happen here now. I understand this takes place twice a week, chapel. So if it's for 30 minutes or 40 minutes, which I'm also eating into your time now, that is a certain percentage of the number of hours. You have when you go to church, you have when you go to class, you have when you read. Plan yourself, because at this stage of your life, some things you do is routinized. There's a trend cycle. As you progress, things change for you. A new vision, a new perspective comes in. And you have to match that to where you will find yourself. So if you apply that 168 rule to your life, it takes a lot, I agree. You might deviate, but always set a reminder that you need to discipline yourself. It's a sacrifice, but you have to do it. I stand as the chief executive of the first digital research center in Nigeria, privately owned, that is. Of course, at that level, you probably would think that, oh, you're too busy. Meetings, boring meetings, boring meetings, boring meetings. For how long? But I'm here today. I've taken 4 days of the week to be here. I've flown thousands of miles. I've decided to commit this time to impact some, positive knowledge into people that are here. Okay? So you just have to do what you have to do to make a difference. While A, meaning B, C, that's all. Next slide. So we may want to ask again, back to this man that you were all screaming. And I knew why you were shouting, because I understand he has some roots from this part of the world, correct? He's your man. And I'm sure you didn't vote for him, right? But you stayed up late to make sure that he won. In both elections, true or false? Now, what does it take to be, who is the 21st century leader? I asked a question again here. All of you here are eligible to vote, and I'm sure you voted for your current president, who I also showed you earlier, Uhuru Kenyatta. Am I correct? Yes. Did you say no? I have some bad people inside here. If you all voted for him, which I assume, what influenced that your decision? Did you vote? What influenced your decision to vote for him? He probably didn't vote. Your president, not Obama. I know you didn't vote for Obama. What I'm talking of, Uhuru Kenyatta, your president today. Did you vote for him? No. Hey. Next. You didn't vote for him? No. Did you vote for him too? Can you believe that? This must not be told. And I asked you guys, did you all vote? And everybody said yes. Now, they did, my soldiers didn't vote for him. Are they good followers? They are. They will be. Let's encourage them, please. Please clap for them, at least, for not voting. Don't worry, you have a second chance to do that. Now, why did I ask this question? Because whatever informed some of you to have made that choice of voting for this man, he might have seen some qualities or some character in him that says he's young. He probably will think or reason with us. Let me remind you something that Einstein said back then, which always shocks me till today. What he said, that you cannot use the same brain or mind that created a problem to solve that same problem. Do you understand? The old people, or the people who were there before, that created this presumed or assumed problems that you and I are feeling, can never ever solve that problem. Take it or leave it. It's not possible. What you need is somebody who has the ABC, while at the same time getting mad, to make that change. A different mind, with a different perspective, with a different thinking approach, a younger approach, who understands our problem because it's close age bracket. So that old, or those old group of people, you know, I don't want to mention any names here, but you know who I'm talking about. The problems they've created, no matter what they do, they cannot solve it because they don't have what it takes to be dynamic. They're too bogged down, busy with their own thing. Now, by extension, the followers, all of us here, there's a role we have to play, which is the strength of togetherness, the strength of unison, for a purpose. If I ask everybody here one by one, though there's no time for that, what do you want in life? Let's even consider, what do you want, or what do you expect of yourself before you talk about your leaders? Because yes, we're dependent on the government for everything. But as an individual, what do you want for yourself? I've shown you somebody, which I must mention also. The keynote I showed you with the man who you honored, apparently, I nearly forgot, but today, he actually celebrates his 83rd birthday. He's 83. And he has left a legacy because he always tried to make a difference in everything he did. If he wasn't the way he was, you wouldn't have recognized him as an institution last year, which was what brought me along. As a friend, as a mentor, as a leader. Because we're talking about leadership and mentorship here now. All that I've said, that I've tried to preach, is just to pull out the characteristics of a 21st century leader. Somebody who is knowledgeable, who can make mistake, accept the mistake, and move ahead. He must have his own style. When I started showing those slides of all the leaders, you were all screaming because you saw certain qualities, or you identify with certain qualities in such people. Something moved you about them. And I'm sure all of you wouldn't mind being like them. But it takes a lot. which I've already talked about, discipline and managing yourself, being studious, read your books, no hanky-panky. Do you understand? I hope I'm not sounding too serious. Next slide, please. Now, these leaders in question, which we've talked about, they must be consistent in everything they do, remain focused, share knowledge, and like I said before, they must understand the situation and the circumstances surrounding the environment. And I go back to that Einstein statement that the same mind that created a problem can never solve that problem. You need a new mind to do that. And that new mind is all of you here. All of you. Whether you want to work as an individual or as a group, which I will soon show you what the strength of togetherness can do. Little magic trick, but it works. Next slide. Now, all of these things that I listed out here, we all know these are the prerequisites to what it takes to be a leader. True or false? You don't want a leader who's going to tell you white is black, yellow is green, when you and I can actually see that he's lying. You need to trust people. You need to be able to trust your leader. I'm sure when the crisis in America occurred then in Boston recently with the bomber, and we heard the news that the president had ordered that they should shut down, that is Obama, to shut down that town and get those people. That showed you what? He was assertive. In my country, we shared similar problems, which is expected, but it's that decisive, affirmative decision and action that you take that shows that you're proactive rather than reactive to situations. That makes that difference, and that can separate you from who a leader is and who a follow is. There must be a big difference. So if you choose to want to be in this category of what it takes to be a 21st century leader, you must, and I mean must, have these prerequisites, all that are listed there. You must have them. Now let me quickly ask another funny question here. I know you're always busy as students, but how many of you read the news today? Coming out of Kenya. Raise up your hand. How many of you read the news? Or, okay, let me put it this other way. How many of you know the latest or the hottest gist in Nairobi or in Kenya, the government as of today? Do you know?
The daughter of the late senator, that is Kathy, the late senator Kilonzo, Kathy Kilonzo has turned out he has dropped out being the senator, vying for the senator.
I believe our current president, President Uhuru Kenyatta, cracked the whip that they should be a tight lip on those who are continuing to practice drugs so that they can be captured.
Okay, they are right. No two doubt about that. But the one I think I want to place as priority, yesterday when I was going to the town campus, something interesting happened. While I was dressing up in my typical manner, I decided to put on the TV and listen to news. Because I can't be in a country and not know what is happening in that country. Information. I joke now that somebody in this hall probably is tweeting with somebody outside. Now, we're in an environment, like I said, things are happening so fast in our generation. Therefore, we have loads and loads of information that we cannot even manage. The most important thing about this information download, you need to know what is useful information and useless information. True. If, for example, there's a hot topic, maybe gossip on campus, I can bet you the trend or the thread that will follow can be almost close to 200 comments. True or false? Now, when there's a serious issue that should affect your life positively or negatively, the comments are so limited and ridiculously low. True. Because we have misplaced priorities. Sometimes we don't even know what exactly that it is that you will want. And I still refer back to getting mad while reciting your ABC. Information, information, information. You need to know how to decipher what is useful to you and leave away the useless ones. So when you look at all of these prerequisites that I mentioned there, it's simple. It says it all. What it takes to be a leader, to be a successful leader in this 21st century. That's all that is there. Now, we can talk about the types of leaderships which we're all familiar with. Thank God you guys are in a democratic environment. Good. Some people are still going through the autocratic, right? And some have got the freestyle. I don't know about that, but let's thank God for where we find ourselves. Next slide. Next slide, please. Next. I don't need to go into this because I'm sure you know all the basics about this. Next slide. Good. Let me move over to mentorship quickly so I don't waste too much time. How many of you know this man up there? If you can see him well. Do you know who that is? You all have devices, iPads, iPhones. You know who that is now? You must know who that is. Steve Jobs, correct. I ask again, is he a leader or a mentor? Both. Great. Now, I just talked about somebody who I'm close to, who you're saying, luckily for me, or blessed as I may be, I found myself doing certain things. But I urge all of you to look for a mentor. Seriously. That is somebody who can help you with your mindset, that can groom you, mold you. And I'm not talking about somebody who's going to coach you because that's a different aspect. You need to get close to somebody. Whether it's virtually, like you've all admired the people have shown you initially, fine, they're good. But you need to get close to someone who can inspire you to be what you should or you're expected to be. Do you understand? The role that a mentor plays can be categorized into just three things. One, wisdom. They share their wisdom with you because they have the experience, which will follow the second thing, which is knowledge. And that's a gift that you and I don't have. Now, they are patient. They have what it takes to become critical in their thinking, their approach to life, and that can be summed up as being understanding. Of course, I'm sure you find this in the Bible also, which talks about wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Do you understand? A mentor will play that role for you, and I can assure you, if you're close to one or you find one to identify with, you will make a difference. A mentor is always confident. I can assure you that. You wouldn't miss it. Okay? Now, I have this quote that I always remember from someone. I think I also put that in one of the slides. Now, there's one quote that says, leadership is doing what is right when no one is watching. True or false? Leadership, like I said before, is turning vision into reality. What can change all of us, our country, is a leadership that has vision. Take Dubai as a good example. Dubai is less than a 20-year project. An average of 13 years sand filling in a desert. The rest of the years, maybe less than 10 years, less than a decade. All those things we see there, the tallest building in the world, the whatever, largest whatever, the eighth wonder of the world, the Palm Jumeirah. Think of everything that is in Dubai. It's less than a 20-year project. The leader there, Al Maktoum, had what you call a vision. I remember I read an article once when they talked about when they had this dream to convert Dubai to what it is today. All the best of the best in the world, from the architects to the structural engineers and everybody, were asked to make submissions for bids. Do you know that they believed they had the best, which they had proposed? But the leader, Al Maktoum himself, turned down more than 60% of those laudable projects. Because for him, he wanted to make sure that that country had the best of everything and always be the number one in everything. And that was a young man. And that also goes out to all of you here. You need to be able to make a huge difference. Now, in conclusion, so that I don't round up too much time, these 4 people that I've brought here, we've talked about the prerequisite of leadership, where we've said trust, confidence, believe in you, knowledgeable, blah, 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 shows, you're up. But do or will they see that in you? I've talked about the power of togetherness, cohesiveness. As a group or as an individual, you must stand out. Whether it's in the job, in church, or whatever, there must be something about you. Always be confident while trying to make a difference. Now, I'd like to show something very interesting here that these people can do if they aspire to become leaders tomorrow, with all that we've talked about, trust, confidence, and all. Please stand up. All of you, stand up. Let me just show something interesting. It's a little trick, but it always works. You'll be amazed that... please turn that chair to face you. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you guys to sit down. Sit. 4 of you. Drop the microphone, don't worry. Drop the mic, you don't need it. Did you notice what they did? Do you notice what they did? They actually, I said sit down because I've not told them what to do, which is the usual case. Everybody expects someone to lead them. I said sit, and they decided to sit. But in fairness, this is not how I wanted them to sit. Let's mirror that in the reality of the world where we are today. None of them even asked me, how do you want me to sit? Do you understand? They just sat down. Confident. Always be confident. Get up again. Because they moved the chairs from the way I put it. So I take it that we turn it back to how we want them to sit. So now if I say sit, what are you supposed to do next? Sit down. How do I want you to sit? Better. There must be togetherness. Leadership and the followers. There must be a connect. Now, I will now tell them how I want them to sit because I have a vision. I have a plan. So, madam, could you be kind enough to sit here? No, sit down with your side. Good. Okay? Sit down. Sit down. Same pattern. Sit down. Sure. Okay. Always be confident. Don't be afraid. Okay. Sit down. Come forward. Come forward. Sit down. Come forward. No, sit straight. Relax. I'm not going to bite you. I'm a leader. Trust me. Trust. Please, can you go back to that slide with the prerequisite? Trust, knowledgeable. Please take me back to that slide quickly. Sit down, relax. Feel free. Sit on the edge. Yeah. Okay, good. Do the same thing, two of you. Come forward. Sit. Good. Same thing. Come forward. Good. Sit down like that, so we don't waste time. Good. Now, lie down. Trust me. Lie down. How? Good. Lie down. Yeah, on each other's. Now, if you realize in up place, you need to get a balance. So your knees have to be up to support everybody. Good. Do you understand? Properly. Hold yourself also. 4 of you hold yourself. Trust me now. Look at the brick side there. Not like this. Hold yourself. So that you won't fall down. No, yourselves. Hold each other. Stay strong. Stay firm. Come. Yeah? Are you okay? Are you balanced? Do you know what I want to do? Do you trust me? You may fall. Are you well balanced? Are you well balanced? You all balanced properly? You need your back to rest here. I want to take off this chair. He says he will fall. He's afraid. Get your balance properly. Okay? Get your balance properly. Quickly. Get your balance properly. So move in. Keep your knees high up. Support each other well. Okay. No. Good. Trust. Okay. Are you ready? Can I take off the first chair? Do you trust me enough as their leader? You see, he's scared. They're holding each other. You see now? This is power of togetherness. They're afraid they will fall. Okay. Adjust yourself. Just stay where you are. Good. Are you balanced? You're balanced? With on heart. Stay properly. Are you balanced? Have no fear. You won't fall. Can I take this one off? You say no. Can I take it off? Huh? Yes? No? Yes? Adjust yourself a bit. Stay where you are. Are you okay? Can I take this one off? Are you balanced? Okay. 1, can I take it off? Adjust yourself a bit. Can I take this one off? Do they trust me? Do they trust me? He's begging. Trust me, I'm your leader. Nothing will happen to you. Just support yourself and be fine. Madam, I'm about to take off the last one. Can I take it off? Yes? He messed it up. Now, sorry, go back in. Okay, now what I've done, do it properly yourself and see how it works. Now, I'm trying to send a message here. We've talked about competencies, trusting, knowledgeable. We're sharing something together. I'm going to let them do this by themselves now, quickly, in less than 20 seconds, and they're out of here so we can round up. Rearrange it properly. Let them see what exactly it is you're trying to do. Get your balances, all of you. Get your balance. The same thing I asked you to do. Do it properly. Okay? The closer you are, the better. Go back. Okay? Rest your back. So you form a fulcrum. Just go ahead. Fine. Okay. Mr. Photographer, please let me pull off these chairs so we don't waste time. Okay? Take off that one. Balance well. Take off this one. Balance well. Take off this side for me. Balance each other well. Shift yourself a bit. Stay where you are. Don't fall. Shift. Are you ready? Okay. Don't worry. It'll be fine. Am I ready to go? That's it. Raise up your hand. One hand at least to wave to them that you're okay. Please return the chairs to them. Okay, go back under. Just stay where you are. Don't move. Let me just place you back. Good. Last chair, please, for the heavy man. So, were they scared? Did they trust me? They did. That they wouldn't fall. The first attempt was a failure. I attempted it with my own mind. It was a problem for them. You can sit up, oh. Come on, sit up, don't worry. It was a problem for them. But now I asked them to go back with a different mind, confident, try to make a difference in how they were going to do it. And they did it successfully. That is the message, the summary of everything I've talked about. Always be confident, while at the same time trying to make a difference. So on that note, last slide, I tell African Nazarene University, Asante Sana.